Well, the big brute is in the shop. I want to, my air wipers are not cutting the bill. So I'm pretty much going to take them out and see if I can convert them to an electric. The boy's got himself a car he's scrapping. It's got a rear electric wiper on it. So I'm going to go cut that out and see if I can adapt it to work on this setup. Okie doke. So, under people's assumption, this is a vacuum wiper. It's not. The truck had air brakes and stuff like that, so this is actually an air operated. I guess you can maybe rebuild them, but my air compressor isn't too reliable in the winter there. Sometimes the valve gets stuck, and it's just a small little 12 volt like for air rides, so really it just runs the horn, and if I got an air tire or something. I don't want to rely on it to actually run my wipers when I actually need them, so this is the rear motor off the whatever that thing, that Suzuki Sidekick or whatever that thing is. It's actually a really small motor. Like once you unbolt it, it's just this little doodad, which is fine. It's just got a 1-speed. So part of me would like to have 2-speed. So this is the other motor. The only difference with these two is this one just does a forward motion sweep similar to what stock is. Like stock, this thing does this, it goes out and then it comes back. So this one's probably the easiest to adapt. Whereas this one just spins around in circles, but it might work. I think a buddy of mine did that on his car, and it was like the most awesome thing ever because each wiper worked individually, so it was just crazy. I do dig that. With that said, if I can get this to work, then I could have a 2-speed wiper, which would be super nice. But if not, I'm sure I can get this one to work. My only dilemma is, see how this thing, when it parks, the arms sit over here, and I'd have to have my nut sticking out with whatever contraption I decide to make. If I use this thing on here, I can maybe sandwich this thing on top of it, and then it'll just do its thing. I'm not sure, but I'd really like to try to get the 2-speed working. So I got to understand how this works. I think I could attach both arms to it, I think, and they'll do their thing. I basically got to sit here and think this out, how the arms work, and if I can make that happen. So I'm going to play with this for a little while, and when I figure it out, I'm going to show you. I got such a love-hate with that thing. GoPros decide to record whenever they want to. Anyways, unfortunately you didn't see how I came up with this. But essentially, I'm not taking credit for this. A buddy of mine actually had figured this out by himself. And I just stole his idea. I just made it easy on myself. I took apart the original vacuum doodad. I pulled the arm off because I knew it had the right sweep, so that was fine. This thing just spins around and around. So, to kind of show you how it goes, is you and I had to toy with this. I had to lengthen this because I had to bend it up to get over this thing. Because you can see, I can still get this off to replace the motor if need be. So this nut comes off. This thing is a permanent fixture going across. So this arm under here, I mean, if I had made it differently, I could have made it to come off, but I don't really care. I'll just, if I have to do this bushing or fix something up, I'll just rebuild this thing or something. I don't know, like cut this, pull it off, do the bushing, put it back together. Not too concerned about it. But anyways, and then it took me a while to figure out this wiring. Holy Dinah, that was a bit. But anyways, you got a high speed, you got a low speed, and then the white wire here is the park. So when it parks, wipers all go back to normal. This setup seems to work pretty good. Whoops. But anyways, it yeah, it does what I wanted to do. I use these to mimic my my wiper blades. So you can see they kind of go out, in, do their thing. That side doesn't quite sweep as much. I might add a little bit to that rod, but I don't know if it's fully necessary. I'm not too concerned about that side. As long as my side's good. Now, big question is, will this fit under the dash? See, the whole thing is actually a self-contained unit, which is cool. All I do is undo these two bolts. This unit falls out. I'm hoping I got room. I could smash this in. And somehow I got to find myself another, like a switch. I don't have, I used to have a wiper switch. I don't know what happened to it. So I'll have to find a new one, use it. But I think this is going to work out okay. Well, I think I built the most glamorous wiper system ever. Well, for my truck anyways. My only problem is I don't have my, I got high or low. I got high. But if you want to park them, you have to hit that button. I don't have the all-in-one button. The button's worth more than half my truck, so if you go there, hit that, that'll park them. So, yeah, whatever. Not the end of the world. At least they're gonna work in the snow now. Holy Dinah, the air just decided it just doesn't want to work anymore. So, we got that all sorted out. Now, I do have to address my fuel filter because when it's cold, the gasket chooses to leak like a sieve till it warms up. And I guess fuel's kind of expensive now, so I don't want to be dribbling a whole bunch of it on the ground. Problem is, I really wish I had a screw-on filter. I don't. I have the crappy canister one, so that's probably why it's leaking, but I think I got a new filter somewhere, and then I guess it's seeing how it's winter time, it's time to wire these shutters shut. All right, well, let's do this filter quick. I have to clean up this thing yet. It's just a mess. Whoops. Basically got my wiper switch, so I'll be able to put that into the International. So that's my next slate to do. That, and then I found a variable speed dealio. So I kind of dig that. I'm probably going to put that into the truck too. I think that'd be nice. So you have intermittent wipers. Wouldn't that be awesome? Cool. Anyway. All right. I have designed the most craziest thing. I got a wiper motor, but unfortunately it's set up not for like the style I'm using. So I had to put a relay in to reverse the polarity of the park, because the park wants to send power when the wiper motor works. Park wants to just see one of the other wires. Weird, I know. So I put a relay in so it can detect those two wires, kind of piggyback them in. And then I had to figure out this module box, to which in all the goofiness is all wired in. So essentially I do my low speed into this, then this thing controls the wiper control, to which then goes into the piggybacks onto the relay, yada yada. So anyways, about 40 minutes later I came up with this whole concoction. So it kind of works. Now I just got to figure a way to hide it into the dash. But regardless, when I put it on low, well, high works just as it normally should. You know what? I'm just going to hook it all up and I'll show you better, because I can't one-hand this controls very well here. Man, we have definitely stepped up the game in here. We got fancy electric wipers. We actually can put a delay on them. Oops. Oh, that is so fancy. And I actually took the effort to put in my rear heater switch up here, so I don't have to go to the back to turn it on and off. I got my high and, or my low and then my high. Oh, this thing's so styling now. My creature comforts have gone up immensely. I guess that's it for this one for now. Kind of got everything I wanted to get done on her. Hey, look at that thing, eh? Pretty fancy. All right, well, hey, check it out. We're even there, so we can get our tunes. Right on. Well, I guess I can throw this thing out. I don't have anything else I need to do on her for now. I should, and I got to yet though, is hook up a switch and put a light on my dash so I don't drive around with my e-brakes on. Man, I'm notorious for that. Getting better though. I have like one light on the dash if I got my rear camera on, because this one's here for if I'm backing up or something like that. It's basically got my backup lights and that are on that. So I got a light on there. I basically want to do the same thing but put a big red light to tell me my e-brake is on. Alrighty. Anywho, we're gonna move on. Find something else to do. Alrighty. Well, she's back in. Today's slate. I have my air horn, but in the winter sometimes my valve gets stuck, so I shut my compressor down. So I'm gonna put in an electric horn, just a regular old horn button. Not a big a deal. And I want to address this thing. This thing doesn't always, well, now it's making a liar out of me. You know what, it works. It's working good now. But I want to get a switch on it so I can have a light on the dash to tell me that I'm an idiot and I got my e-brake on, so I don't drive around with my e-brake. I'm thinking I can go underneath the boot here and make something, but I might look under the truck and just see, because I might just make a bracket with a switch on it. I have to find my switches. I have them somewhere. There we go. We got a horn button, or what's going to be a horn button, and we got what is going to be my switch. I can't find one of those other lights that I got, but I do have one of these, so I'll put that one in the dash. That'll work fine for what I want. And yeah, I don't know. Should be pretty straightforward. Let's find out. Alright, we got our boot, everything off. I think I came up with a simpler plan, because if I put this thing up in the front, I can't hide it under the boot. It's going to like stick past. So I made this simple bracket. More or less like I fumbled together and made it. But it'll go right there. It's going to go reuse the one bolt that I have, which will, and hence like put that locked up to the front. This thing actually has a metal sleeve. I think this is for like a door popper kit or something. But anyways, this unscrews. So I'll be able to weld it onto here. And I might have to come out a little bit just so I can turn this switch so I can adjust the depth on it. But anyways, we're going to set that up. That's going to get tacked on there. That'll hit this thing, to which then does it open or close the circuit? I'm wondering if I'm doing this wrong. This would probably close the circuit. That'd make the light go on. I have to rethink this. Well, no, it's got to go that way. We'll figure this out. I'm doing it backwards. There's got to be a way to make this work yet. We'll figure it out. We'll still weld this together, because if I have to, I'll put a relay behind it or something. Must be a way. If you want to do it backwards, so you normally have a micro switch so that it sits there, and then when the switch clocks past it, I could do a micro. No, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this work. The plan now is to get a horn in here. So I'm not relying on my air horn. That's not too reliable when it's cold out. I know the system has a horn wire in here, so I got to see what it is. Whether it's, well, it shouldn't be power. I should be sending power to it. Sometimes they're ground. I don't know what it is. I think it's power. Anyways, I'll have to figure that out. But I'm going to snip that off, get that hooked up, and then I'm going to put a button inside, because the steering column doesn't have, this one doesn't actually have the button part in there. So I have one hole left in my dash, so I'm going to go put my horn button right there. And then this is usually runs my compressor, which does have a shut-off switch, but anyways, I want to put a button in there, so that's what we're going to do. All right. Well, simple as that. Horn is in. So that is done. I think we've got all the holes in the dash filled now. So cool. And a win. There we go. Dummy light. Minty. Minty, minty. It's perfect. Well, we got all the bits done now. I dig it. So much more enjoyable now. Oh, a little bit of a teaser, depending when this video comes out. All right. Well, only thing left to do is grab the dog and go for a rip.